When I was in my mid-20s, I became deathly ill. This was not just a cold or the flu, but something much worse. Something I had never experienced before, nor since. I was a new Christian at the time, and I didn't want to miss church for anything, not even this. My wife said I was in no condition to be going to church and insisted that I remain in bed, but I knew I had to go. After insisting that this was the right thing to do, she reluctantly agreed, and helped me get showered and dressed, and then drove us to church. Upon arriving at church, I was so weak I could barely get out of the truck, and she almost had to carry me in like a wounded soldier being carried off the battlefield. As we neared the building, a friend of mine saw us coming and ran out to us. He said, "Brother, are you okay? You look like you need some prayer." He then held me up and prayed for me. As we neared the door, another friend saw us and ran outside to help. He also prayed for me. As soon as we entered the lobby, several people gathered around and prayed over me. I was touched and impressed by their kindness and concern for me. After they prayed, I looked over and saw an elderly woman who would always sit in the corner with her friend, and they would read the Bible before the service. Somehow I knew that I needed to ask her to pray for me, so with my wife's help, we approached and asked if they wouldn't mind. They laid hands on me and prayed, and when they had finished, I thanked them and headed toward the sanctuary before everyone else. I remember lying there listening to the sermon, and after a while I noticed that something had suddenly changed. It was as though someone had flipped a switch, and all the pain and suffering I had been feeling had instantly left my body. As I lay there with my eyes closed, I remembered thinking that this was probably just a momentary relief, and that any second now it would all come flooding right back. A few moments had passed and I still felt fine. Confused, I suddenly sat up and looked around like I just time traveled or something. A wave of amazement came over the congregation and our pastor stopped mid-sentence and said, "I think Randy has something he'd like to share with us," and then invited me up on the stage. I remember feeling completely restored as I ran down the aisle and jumped up on the stage. Pastor Don informed the congregation that they had just witnessed a miracle, then handed me the microphone, which is something I had never seen him do before. There was an energy in the place and you could feel it. I briefly explained about how sick I had been and thanked all those who had prayed for me, and that as I was laying there listening to the message, something unexplainable happened, and now I was healed. Immediately, everyone stood up and began praising the Lord. That's pretty much the end of the story, but I do want to share one more detail that I think you should know. In this church, hanging above the stage, were 3 words in big silver letters that spelled out, "Expect a miracle." Seeing these words during every message, every worship service, and every invitation, those words became imprinted on my mind, and I strongly believe that they are the key to receiving whatever miracle you have been praying for. Is any sick among you? Let him call for the elders of the church, and let them pray over him, anointing him with oil in the name of the Lord, and the prayer of faith shall save the sick, and the Lord shall raise him up.